The galaxy was vast, filled with countless stars and planets. But for humans, it had always been a place of challenge and wonder. For centuries, humanity had been part of a larger galactic coalition, working alongside other alien civilizations. They had fought wars, defended colonies, and explored unknown systems. Yet now humans were banned from war. No one outside the human colonies knew exactly why. The official story was simple. Humans were too unpredictable, too dangerous, and their involvement in battles caused more chaos than stability. Some whispered that humans had destroyed entire fleets in moments of sudden brilliance. Others said humans had survived situations that should have ended them, as if luck itself followed them. Whatever the truth, humans were officially forbidden from participating in any interstellar conflicts. On a small, isolated colony at the edge of known space, Captain Alex Reed gazed at the stars. The colony was quiet, almost too quiet for his liking. The settlement had a few thousand inhabitants, mostly families and scientists, all of them human. The alien patrols rarely came near this sector, leaving humans alone but not entirely free. The shadow of the galactic ban always hung over them. Alex had spent his life training for a war he was not allowed to fight. His skills in strategy, piloting, and leadership had been honed through years of practice, simulations, and theoretical battles. Yet all his talent could not change the fact that humans were sidelined. He often felt the frustration that many humans shared. The galaxy did not respect their abilities, and worse, it underestimated them. Despite the ban, humans did not give up. In hidden facilities beneath the surface of the colony, engineers worked tirelessly on new ships, drones, and systems that could match or even surpass alien technology. Alex watched these projects with a mixture of pride and anticipation. Humanity had always relied on ingenuity to survive, and now they relied on it more than ever. A soft chime echoed in the command room, interrupting Alex's thoughts. It was a secure transmission, marked with a priority code. He frowned, sensing that the message might not be routine. "Captain Reed," said Lieutenant Mara Lynn, his communications officer, "we have incoming intelligence. Sensors picked unusual movement near the Orion expanse. It's a patrol fleet, alien obviously. They're small, but there are more than expected. Estimated strength, 20 vessels." Alex's eyes narrowed. 20 ships might not seem like much to a seasoned commander, but for a human colony with minimal defenses, it was significant. The aliens rarely showed up near human settlements without reason. "Where exactly?" Alex asked, standing and moving closer to the holographic star map. "Coordinates here," Mara replied, projecting a three-dimensional grid of the region. The fleet moved deliberately, scanning sectors, probing boundaries. "They haven't detected our colony yet, but they're testing the outer systems." Alex ran a hand through his hair. "Testing boundaries or looking for trouble, Mara?" he muttered. He tapped a few commands, analyzing the patrol's possible strategy. "We're banned from war, but they're approaching our space. If they decide to attack, we can't just wait for a council decision. We need a plan that keeps the colony safe and doesn't technically break the ban." Mara frowned. "You mean a defensive strategy without direct engagement?" "Exactly," Alex said. "They shouldn't even know we're ready. We need to use intelligence, clever tactics, and misdirection. That's human advantage, after all." Over the next few hours, Alex convened a small team of trusted officers and engineers. Among them were Lieutenant Jax Harper, a pilot with a talent for improvisation, and Dr. Lila Ortiz, a tactical engineer responsible for developing new defensive systems. Together they worked quietly, studying the alien patrol, analyzing weaknesses, and testing ideas. Humans had always been known for their ingenuity in situations where rules and resources were limited. Alex encouraged his team to think like that now. Instead of building bigger guns, they designed sensor jammers, stealth drones, and automated defenses. Every plan relied on cleverness, surprise, and precision rather than brute force. Night fell on the colony, but the work continued. The stars outside seemed distant and cold, but the humans inside the command center burned with determination. Alex walked along the corridor, watching his people. They were ordinary, yet capable of extraordinary things when circumstances demanded. That was the essence of humanity, the ability to rise, adapt, and overcome. Suddenly an alert sounded. The alien patrol had split into two groups. One was moving toward the outer mining fields, while the other headed closer to the colony's main population area. The timing suggested a test, a probe to see how humans would react. Alex knew that the aliens were expecting hesitation. "This is our chance," he said quietly. "We'll use the outer fields to draw them in. The second group will make them think the colony is weak, easy to take. All the while, our real defense will be in the shadows." Jax grinned. "So we're not breaking the ban, we're just creatively interpreting it." Alex smiled. "Exactly. They won't see us coming. And if we can protect ourselves without firing first, we prove that humans can outthink any opponent." For the next day, preparations moved with careful precision. The humans deployed drones disguised as mining ships, jamming signals to create false readings for the alien sensors. Stealth ships hid behind asteroid fields, waiting for the right moment. Engineers programmed automated systems to simulate civilian activity, drawing attention away from real military positions. As the alien patrol approached, Alex felt a mixture of tension and anticipation. He knew humans had always been underestimated. Across centuries and galaxies, aliens had doubted human resilience, human intelligence, and human courage. Yet time and again, humans had proven them wrong. The first alien ship appeared at the edge of the mining fields. Its sensors immediately registered movement, but the drones created confusion. Aliens scanned, recalculated, and hesitated. Alex watched the readings, noting every reaction. Each hesitation, each error was a victory without a shot fired. By the afternoon, the aliens had split further, chasing illusions and phantom signals. Human drones led the first group into a trap, a narrow canyon filled with sensor interference fields and automated defense mechanisms. The patrol ship slowed, unsure of the environment. Their scanners struggled, and Alex allowed himself a small smile. Humans didn't need brute strength. Strategy alone could dominate. Meanwhile, the second group approached the colony. Civilians worked as normal, unaware of the danger. Hidden from view, human ships waited, cloaked and ready. Automated defenses activated silently, creating the impression of stronger forces than existed. The aliens hesitated again, unable to determine if an attack was coming from the colony or from unseen allies. Alex realized something important. This was a test not just of strategy, but of patience. Humans could endure, outthink, and wait for the right moment. The aliens expected a reckless, direct confrontation. Instead, they faced a calm, deliberate response. Every hesitation the aliens showed was a subtle victory, a reminder of the human advantage. By nightfall, the alien patrol had withdrawn slightly, retreating to regroup. No shots had been fired, no lives had been lost. Yet the humans had won the first round. The colony was safe, the patrol confused, and the reputation of humans as banned but dangerous quietly reinforced. Alex stood on the observation deck, looking at the stars. He felt the weight of responsibility, not just for the colony, but for all humanity. The galaxy had underestimated humans before, and it would do so again. But humans had a way of turning every disadvantage into a strength, every rule into a challenge to outthink. "We're not ready for war," Alex said quietly to himself, "but we're ready for anything they send our way." And in the quiet of the colony, humans worked through the night, planning, learning, and preparing for the day when the galaxy would see them not as a danger to be banned, but as a force to be respected. The night was quiet, but the humans of the colony did not rest. Hidden beneath the surface, engineers and strategists worked tirelessly to prepare for the next challenge. The alien patrols had retreated, but Captain Alex Reed knew it was only a temporary reprieve. If the aliens returned with more ships, the colony could be in serious danger. In the command center, Alex gathered his team. Mara Lynn, Lieutenant Jax Harper, and Dr. Layla Ortiz were present, along with several other trusted officers. They studied the alien fleet movements, analyzing patterns, behavior, and weaknesses. "The aliens are cautious," Alex said, pointing at the holographic display of the patrol routes. "They don't know we are prepared, and they underestimate us. That is our advantage, but we cannot rely on luck alone. We need a plan that keeps the colony safe and shows that humans are clever, not reckless." Dr. Ortiz nodded. "We've been working on stealth drones and automated defenses, but I think we can take it further. Humans think differently. We can use misdirection, traps, and timing. The aliens will never predict it." Alex leaned back, considering her words. Humans had always thrived when facing impossible odds. History was full of examples where humans had turned disadvantages into victories. The key now was to use their ingenuity without breaking the ban on war. Over the next few hours, the team designed a complex plan. Small cloaked ships would move through asteroid fields near the colony. Their mission was not to attack, but to gather intelligence and create illusions of larger forces. Drones would simulate movement in multiple sectors, making the aliens believe humans had hidden fleets ready to strike. "We'll make them think they are walking into a trap," Alex said. "But really, the trap is their own assumptions." Jax grinned. "I like it. Humans have a way of turning thinking into a weapon." By morning, the preparations were complete. The colony appeared normal on the surface. Civilians went about their daily routines, unaware of the hidden operations beneath them. The cloaked ships and drones were in position, waiting for the aliens to make the next move. Hours passed without incident. Then sensors detected a new fleet approaching. This one was larger than the previous patrol, 50 ships moving toward human space. The aliens were testing the limits, probing to see how far humans could defend without direct engagement. Alex called an emergency briefing. "They are stronger this time, but we have the advantage. They do not know our capabilities. They assume we will panic or hesitate. We will show them humans are not only brave, but smart." The plan was set in motion. The first group of drones moved outward, creating false readings and drawing the alien fleet into designated sectors. Stealth ships slipped into asteroid fields, monitoring alien movements and ready to relay information back to the command center. Automated systems activated in key areas, simulating defensive structures and civilian activity to mislead the enemy. The alien fleet responded as expected. Their sensors picked up multiple targets, many of them illusions. Confusion spread among their commanders as they struggled to distinguish real ships from fake signals. Every hesitation, every recalculation was a small victory for humans. Alex watched closely, noting each reaction. He had trained for moments like this, not for brute battles, but for mental contests of strategy. The aliens relied on predictable behavior, coordinated attacks, and superior firepower. Humans relied on creativity, adaptability, and the ability to turn any situation into an advantage. "Look at them," Mara said, her eyes fixed on the display. "They're second-guessing everything. Every calculation takes longer. They don't know which threat is real." Alex nodded. "Exactly. And that is the human edge. We can adapt faster than they can predict." The first engagement began with a subtle maneuver. Cloaked ships slipped between asteroids, using interference fields to mask their movement. They appeared to vanish and reappear in multiple locations. Alien ships tried to follow, but each attempt led them deeper into zones where sensor readings were unreliable. Meanwhile, automated drones created phantom movements near the colony itself. Lights flickered, small explosions simulated minor incidents, and holographic signals indicated the presence of hidden defenses. The aliens hesitated again, unsure whether to advance or retreat. Hours passed and the humans maintained their calm. They did not fire weapons. They did not break the ban on war. Yet they controlled the battlefield entirely through cleverness. Each delay and misstep by the aliens allowed humans to strengthen their positions, gather more intelligence, and prepare for the next phase. By afternoon, the aliens realized that they could not predict human behavior. Their calculations failed repeatedly. In a meeting aboard their flagship, alien commanders debated their next move. Some suggested retreat, others urged caution. None could agree, and that indecision played perfectly into Alex's hands. "This is our moment," Alex said to his team. "We don't need to attack. We only need to show that humans are capable. Every hesitation they have is a sign of respect, even if they don't admit it." Dr. Ortiz smiled. "It's like a game of chess. We're controlling the board without moving a single piece directly into danger." As night fell, the alien fleet began to withdraw slightly, reassessing their strategy. The humans had achieved something remarkable. They had dominated a larger and more advanced force without firing a shot. Their ingenuity, planning, and patience had turned the situation entirely in their favor. Alex allowed himself a small smile. Humans were banned from war, yet here they were, proving that rules did not define capability. The ban had forced them to think differently, to rely on intelligence rather than aggression, to turn limitations into advantages. The next day brought new challenges. Reports indicated that other alien factions had taken notice of human activity. Rumors spread that humans were preparing for some unknown action, that their colonies were not as defenseless as previously thought. Some aliens feared humans. Others dismissed them. Both assumptions played into human hands. Alex met with the colony's council to discuss the next steps. "We cannot attack," he reminded them, "but we can continue to protect ourselves, gather intelligence, and make our presence respected. That is enough for now. Every successful maneuver strengthens humanity's position and teaches the galaxy that humans are more than they appear." The council agreed, giving Alex authority to expand operations. Stealth patrols would cover surrounding space, drones would monitor distant sectors, and engineers would continue developing new systems. Every measure emphasized cleverness, preparation, and subtle influence rather than violence. Weeks passed, and the humans grew more confident. Each encounter, each observation reinforced the belief that they could face any threat without breaking the rules. Young pilots trained under Alex's guidance, learning to think creatively and adapt quickly. Engineers designed new tools that could be used for defense, observation, or deception. Every success reinforced the idea that humans thrived in challenges, especially when the odds seemed against them. One evening, as Alex walked through the colony's observation deck, he reflected on the progress. The stars seemed distant and cold, yet humanity had always found warmth and strength in challenges. Their ban from war had not weakened them. It had strengthened their resolve and sharpened their minds. "Humans are clever," Alex said quietly to himself. "We may be banned from fighting, but no one can deny our ability to survive and thrive. They will learn." Eventually, unknown to humans, one alien commander had already taken note. Reports from scouting missions suggested that the humans of this colony were unlike any others. They were not reckless, not weak, not predictable. They were clever, adaptable, and capable of turning any situation into an advantage. In the silent reaches of space, the galaxy began to take notice. Humans were banned from war, but their presence could no longer be ignored. The first seeds of respect and perhaps fear were planted among alien forces. For Alex and his team, the work continued. The next challenge was unknown, the next threat inevitable. But humans were ready. They had learned that their greatest weapon was not firepower, but intelligence, ingenuity, and the courage to act when others hesitated. And so, under the endless stars, humans quietly prepared, hidden yet powerful, proving that even when banned from battle, they could strike back in ways no one expected. The galaxy was vast, and its dangers were unpredictable, but humans had learned to thrive in uncertainty. For Captain Alex Reed and the colony at the edge of known space, that lesson had never been more relevant. Reports from scouts indicated that alien forces were increasing their presence near human territories. They were curious, cautious, and unknowingly underestimating human capability once again. Alex convened a meeting in the command center. Mara Lynn and Jax Harper were already present, analyzing data from the latest patrol reports. Dr. Layla Ortiz entered last, holding a small datapad filled with new engineering schematics and sensor readings. "The aliens are testing us," Alex said, pointing at the holographic display of the patrol movements. "They are still unsure how capable we are. If they believe we are weak, they will act recklessly. If they think we are strong, they might hesitate. Either way, we have an advantage." Jax leaned back in his chair. "So we keep playing the quiet game. They try to find us and we make them second-guess themselves?" Alex nodded. "Exactly. But we need to step up. Our previous maneuvers worked because they didn't know we existed. Now they have partial awareness. They will adjust their strategies. We must adapt faster." Dr. Ortiz tapped her datapad. "I've designed a series of new drones for intelligence gathering. They are faster, can cloak better, and transmit information silently. Combined with the stealth ships, we can monitor multiple fleets at once without being detected." "Good," Alex said. "Prepare them immediately. We need eyes in every sector. Humans survive because we see more than the enemy expects." By the next morning, the new drones were deployed. Small, agile, and nearly invisible, they moved through asteroid fields, solar flares, and debris clouds, scanning for alien activity. Alex watched their progress on the holographic map, noting each reaction and movement. The alien patrols were larger now, numbering over 60 ships, and they were divided into two main groups. "They're splitting their forces," Mara observed. "One group is moving toward the outer colonies, and the other is heading closer to our main settlement." Alex clenched his jaw. "They're probing our defenses, testing our patience." "That's exactly what we expect. We'll use the outer colonies as bait, but our real advantage will be hidden in plain sight." The plan was simple yet sophisticated. Drones would create false signals around the outer colonies, simulating larger fleets and defensive structures. Stealth ships would observe from asteroid fields and communicate enemy positions back to the command center. Automated systems would mimic human activity, reinforcing the illusion of vulnerability in some areas, while concealing real strengths elsewhere. By midday, the alien forces began to respond. The first group approached the outer colonies, scanning for threats. Their sensors detected multiple anomalies, prompting hesitation. Drones created false readings of energy signatures, weapon emplacements, and hidden ships. The aliens attempted to track movements but found nothing solid. Alex monitored the situation carefully. "Patience," he said. "Every second they spend doubting themselves is a win for us." Hours passed, and the first group became increasingly cautious. They maneuvered slowly, unable to predict the human response. Meanwhile, the second group neared the main settlement. Civilians continued their daily routines, unaware of the strategic positioning happening beneath the surface. Hidden, cloaked ships hovered silently, waiting for the right moment. Automated drones generated simulated ship movements and holographic activity, further confusing the aliens. Every hesitation, every recalculation, strengthened the humans' advantage. Jax grinned as he observed the alien fleet. They're more confused than ever. They don't know which ships are real or fake. They've never seen humans operate like this. Alex smiled faintly. They will learn. We don't need weapons to prove our point. Strategy is enough. By evening, the alien commanders were growing frustrated. On their flagship, they debated their next move. Some argued for withdrawal. Others insisted on pressing forward. Confusion spread as the humans had intended. Every moment of indecision was a silent victory. At this point, Alex made a bold decision. It's time to show our strength without breaking the ban. We'll execute a controlled maneuver. Cloaked ships will appear briefly, move in coordinated patterns, and vanish again. Drones will amplify their presence with phantom signals. We want the aliens to believe humans have hidden forces ready to strike at any moment. Dr. Ortiz nodded. The technology is ready. Our ships can move quickly and silently. They won't even know what hit them. The maneuver began just after nightfall. Cloaked ships slipped through asteroid fields, appearing briefly near the enemy patrols and then disappearing. Drones generated additional signals, creating an illusion of dozens of hidden ships. The alien fleet slowed, unsure of the humans' capabilities. Mara reported, "They're recalculating. They're trying to identify the threat, but their sensors keep failing. Every second they hesitate is a tactical victory." Alex leaned over the console, analyzing every movement. The aliens were predictable in one sense. They relied heavily on technology, calculations, and conventional strategies. Humans, on the other hand, could improvise, adapt, and think outside the box. That difference had always given them an edge in situations where rules and expectations constrained others. Hours turned into night, and the aliens gradually retreated, wary of the unseen human forces. No shots were fired. No lives were lost. Yet humans had gained a decisive advantage. They had controlled the battlefield through cleverness, patience, and strategy. The colony celebrated quietly. It was a victory without violence, a reminder of what humans could achieve through intelligence and coordination. Alex walked through the observation deck, looking at the stars. "We are banned from war," he said quietly, "but rules cannot limit human capability. Our strength lies in our minds, our courage, and our unity." The next morning, scouts reported another anomaly. Alien activity had increased even further. Other factions had taken notice of the humans' skillful maneuvers. Rumors spread that humans were not just clever, they were dangerous in ways no one had anticipated. Some aliens admired their ingenuity, while others feared the unknown potential of a species that refused to follow conventional rules. Alex gathered his team again. "This is our chance to establish a reputation," he said. "We do not fight, yet we protect. We do not seek war, yet we prepare for anything. That is what makes humans, humans," Jax added, "and they'll remember it. Every hesitation, every mistake they make will remind them that humans cannot be underestimated." Dr. Ortiz smiled. "Our technology, combined with human creativity, is unstoppable. They expect aggression, but they get strategy. That is our true strength." The following days were filled with continuous observation and small, precise maneuvers. Humans tested the alien fleets, explored weaknesses, and refined their systems. Every action was measured, deliberate, and clever. Every reaction of the alien forces was noted and studied. adding to the humans' growing repository of knowledge. Alex often reflected on the irony. Humans had been banned from war because others feared their capabilities. Yet the ban had forced humans to evolve, to rely on intelligence over brute force to innovate and adapt. The restrictions had sharpened their minds, teaching them patience, creativity, and resilience. One evening, after a particularly successful maneuver that had confused the largest alien patrol to date, Alex stood alone on the observation deck. He watched the stars, feeling both pride and anticipation. Humans had demonstrated their ability to survive and protect themselves without breaking rules. Yet he knew this was only the beginning. They will come again, he whispered to himself, and we will be ready. They may underestimate humans, but they cannot ignore us forever. Unknown to humans, reports of their clever strategies had reached distant alien councils. Some factions began to reconsider the human ban. Was it a mistake to forbid a species so resourceful and intelligent from participating in galactic affairs? Others dismissed it, claiming humans were merely lucky. But the truth was clear. Humans had turned disadvantage into advantage, limitation into strength, and had shown that they could control the battlefield without ever firing a shot. Back at the colony, life continued. Civilians worked, children played, and the community thrived under the protection of hidden forces. Humans had shown that even when constrained, they could achieve greatness. They had proven once more that the essence of humanity was resilience, ingenuity, and courage. As Alex watched the stars, he knew the future held greater challenges. Alien fleets might increase in number, strategies might grow more complex, and unknown threats might appear. But humans had learned the most important lesson. They were never truly powerless. With patience, intelligence, and creativity, they could face any obstacle and strike back, even when banned from war. And so, under the endless expanse of the galaxy, humans continued their quiet preparations, unseen but always ready, proving that their strength lay not only in weapons or fleets, but in the minds, courage, and unity of those who dared to think differently. The tension in the galaxy was rising. After weeks of observing human colonies and testing their defenses, the aliens had become more cautious but also more curious. Captain Alex Reed knew that this escalation was inevitable. The alien patrols would not remain idle forever. They would return, stronger and more determined, to see whether humans were truly as capable as rumors suggested. Alex convened his team in the command center. Mara Lynn, Jax Harper, and Dr. Lila Ortiz were present, along with several other officers responsible for different sectors of the colony. The holographic map displayed multiple alien fleets converging near human territories. "They're testing our limits," Alex said, pointing at the map. "This is no longer a small patrol. They are coordinating multiple fleets trying to measure human capabilities. But we know something they don't. Humans are unpredictable in the best possible way." Mara frowned. "They're larger in number, Captain. Some fleets are almost twice the size of the previous ones. If they advance, we'll face serious pressure." Alex nodded. "Pressure is what humans excel under. We don't rely on brute strength alone. We rely on thinking, adaptability, and teamwork. We have more than enough tools and strategy to handle this." Dr. Ortiz stepped forward. "I've upgraded our drones and stealth ships. They can now operate independently for extended periods, gathering intelligence and creating false readings to confuse the enemy. Automated systems have been enhanced to simulate larger fleets and defensive structures." "Excellent," Alex said. "Deploy the units immediately. Every second we gain in observation is a second the aliens lose in confidence." By midday, the upgraded drones and stealth ships were active. They moved silently through asteroid fields, cosmic debris, and radiation belts, scanning the alien fleets and transmitting data back to the command center. Humans had learned to use the environment itself as a weapon, turning obstacles into advantages. The first of the alien fleets approached a cluster of outer colonies. Sensors indicated that the aliens were cautious, their movements deliberate. They were clearly aware of previous human maneuvers, yet unsure how to proceed. Alex leaned over the console, studying the data. "They're hesitant," he said. "Their calculations are slowing. They don't know which readings are real. Every hesitation is a victory. We must maintain this advantage." Jax Harper grinned. "It's like a game of chess, Captain. We're controlling the board without exposing ourselves." "Exactly," Alex replied. "But this is only the beginning. Soon they will challenge us directly. That is when humans will show their true strength. not by attacking first but by defending smartly and exploiting every opportunity. Hours passed. The aliens began probing defenses near the main colony. Cloaked ships positioned themselves along asteroid belts and behind debris clouds. Drones generated phantom signals of weapon systems, supply lines, and reinforcements, creating confusion. Automated defenses simulated activity to make the colony appear more fortified than it truly was. The aliens responded by dividing their fleet into smaller groups, attempting to locate real threats. Each division moved cautiously, scanning every sector repeatedly. Alex watched the results carefully. The aliens were predictable in their reliance on technology and numbers, but humans excelled where prediction failed: adaptability, improvisation, and creativity. By nightfall, the aliens made their first move. A small fleet attempted to bypass outer colonies and approach the main settlement. Alex and his team had anticipated this. Cloaked ships moved in parallel, creating false movements while drones generated sensor anomalies to mislead the aliens. Mara observed the fleet. They're slowing down. Sensors are failing to detect anything concrete. It's working, Captain. Alex smiled faintly. Good, maintain the illusion. Remember, our strength is strategy, not aggression. Let them overthink. Let them hesitate. As the night progressed, the aliens became more frustrated. Communications within their fleets showed confusion and uncertainty. They began retreating in some sectors while advancing cautiously in others, unable to coordinate effectively. Every decision they delayed was a victory for humans. Dr. Ortiz suggested the next phase. We can now implement controlled maneuvers. Stealth ships will move briefly, appearing in visible positions near their fleet, then vanish again. Drones will enhance the effect with phantom signatures. This will convince them that humans have hidden strength far beyond their expectations. Alex agreed. Deploy immediately. Remember, this is not an attack. It is a demonstration of capability. Every hesitation they experience now will remind them that humans cannot be underestimated. The operation began. Cloaked ships slipped silently into positions near the alien fleet. They appeared briefly, creating the illusion of a massive force, and then vanished into shadows. Drones amplified the effect, producing false energy readings and holographic signatures. The aliens recalculated their positions repeatedly, unable to discern reality from illusion. Jax leaned over his console. Captain, they're trying to escape. They don't want to risk encountering a force they can't see. It's perfect, Alex nodded. Patience. That is the human advantage. We do not rush. We do not panic. We adapt and wait for the perfect moment. By early morning, the aliens had withdrawn in some sectors, regrouping and reassessing their strategy. Humans had successfully controlled the battlefield without firing a single shot. The colony remained untouched, and the aliens had been forced to question everything they thought they knew about humans. In the command center, Alex addressed his team. This is more than just defense. We've demonstrated that humans are not reckless, that we are capable, strategic, and united. Every hesitation they experience is respect, even if they do not admit it. Mara smiled. It's incredible, Captain. They expected us to panic or make mistakes. Instead, we've used their expectations against them. Alex nodded. That is what humans do best. We survive by thinking, adapting, and using creativity as our weapon. The galaxy may have banned us from war, but they cannot ban ingenuity. The next few days were filled with careful observation. Alien fleets moved cautiously near human territories, but avoided direct confrontation. Scouts reported unusual activity in distant sectors, suggesting that other alien factions were monitoring the humans' maneuvers. Rumors began to spread that humans were capable of far more than anyone had imagined. Alex reflected on the progress. Humans had turned the ban into an advantage. By being forbidden from direct war, they had learned to rely on intelligence, strategy, and teamwork instead of brute force. They had proven that their strength lay not only in technology or numbers, but in the ability to think differently, act decisively, and adapt to changing circumstances. One evening, as Alex walked across the observation deck, he looked at the stars and considered the galaxy beyond. This is only the beginning, he said quietly. They will return. Others will come. But humans are ready. We do not need to fight recklessly to show our worth. We do it with our minds, our courage, and our unity. Dr. Ortiz joined him. They will learn eventually. The more they hesitate, the more they respect us. They may never admit it, but humans have proven themselves again and again. Alex smiled. It's not about proving ourselves to them. It's about showing what humans can do. That is enough. Every day we survive, every challenge we face strengthens our position in this galaxy. Back in the colony, civilians continued their lives, unaware of the strategic operations taking place around them. Children played in the streets, merchants traded goods, and families prepared for the coming seasons. Life went on, protected by unseen forces that relied not on violence but on intelligence, creativity, and careful planning. Unknown to the humans, the galaxy had started to notice. Alien factions that had dismissed humanity as weak were beginning to reconsider. Reports indicated that humans were not only surviving, but thriving, controlling situations with clever maneuvers and strategic planning. Even the most skeptical alien commanders began to acknowledge that humans were a species unlike any other. Unpredictable, intelligent, and capable of turning constraints into advantages. Alex returned to the command center that night, reviewing the latest reports. We've shown them that humans are more than they think. Our strength lies in our ability to think, to adapt, and to act when others hesitate. That is the lesson we will continue to teach the galaxy. Mara Lynn nodded. And we've done it without breaking the rules. That is remarkable, Alex smiled. Rules do not define humans. Ingenuity does. Courage does. Unity does. That is what makes us strong even when banned from war. And when the galaxy finally understands that, they will respect humans, not for brute force but for intelligence, strategy, and the ability to survive and thrive against impossible odds. The colony slept quietly under the stars. Hidden from view, cloaked ships and drones continued their watch, ensuring that humans remained prepared for whatever the galaxy might send next. Each maneuver, each calculated action, reinforced the lesson humans had learned long ago. Strength is not only in weapons or numbers, it is in the mind, the heart, and the unity of those who refuse to be underestimated. And so, as the galaxy watched and wondered, humans continued their quiet preparations, proving once more that even when banned from war, they could control their destiny, protect their people, and demonstrate the extraordinary capability that had always set them apart. The galaxy was beginning to take notice. For decades, humans had been banned from war, officially deemed too unpredictable, too dangerous, and too impulsive. Yet here they were, on a small colony at the edge of known space, quietly proving that rules could not contain their ingenuity. Captain Alex Reed watched the stars from the command center, aware that this was a turning point. Reports indicated that alien fleets had started to coordinate more cautiously. Fleets that once approached boldly now hesitated. Scout drones brought back repeated signs of alien confusion and debate. Some factions began to respect human ingenuity. Others feared it. The humans had turned the ban into an advantage, showing that intelligence, creativity, and adaptability could outweigh brute force. Alex gathered his team. Mara Lynn, Jax Harper, Dr. Lila Ortiz, and other officers stood ready. We've proven ourselves over and over, Alex said, pointing at the holographic displays of alien fleet movements. But the galaxy still underestimates us. It's time to take the final step, to show that humans are capable not just of surviving but of controlling outcomes without firing a single weapon. Mara frowned. Do you mean another maneuver? Alex nodded. Yes, but this one will be decisive. Not by attack, but by strategy so effective that the aliens cannot ignore it. We'll demonstrate what humans can do when faced with impossible odds. Dr. Ortiz stepped forward. We can combine all our resources. Drones, stealth ships, automated systems, and environmental advantages. They will perceive far more strength than we actually have. Our advantage is that humans think differently. They do not expect creativity to be the real weapon. Jax grinned. They won't see it coming. Humans never do things the way they expect. Preparations began immediately. Cloaked ships moved into asteroid belts and debris clouds. Drones patrolled distant sectors, and automated systems simulated fleet formations, energy shields, and defensive positions. Civilians went about their routines unaware that hidden forces were at work, ready to respond if necessary. The alien fleets approached cautiously. Sensors detected multiple anomalies, but nothing concrete. Every attempt to locate human forces failed. Every calculation they made led to confusion and hesitation. Alex watched the display carefully, noting each reaction. The aliens were predictable in their reliance on technology. But humans excelled where prediction failed: improvisation, adaptation, and the ability to think creatively. As the first alien group neared the outer colonies, Alex initiated the next phase. Cloaked ships moved in sudden visible patterns near the enemy fleet, then vanished into shadows. Drones created additional false signals, generating the impression of an enormous hidden force. Automated systems simulated movement of reinforcements and energy weapons, reinforcing the illusion. The alien commanders slowed, recalculating constantly. Their hesitation grew longer, their confusion deeper. They had expected humans to act recklessly, to make mistakes, but instead they faced calculated brilliance. Every second of indecision was a human victory. "This is it," Alex said quietly. "They will remember today. They may not admit it, but humans are a force to be respected. Our strength is not in attacking first, but in controlling outcomes through intelligence and strategy." Hours passed. The alien fleets began retreating cautiously and without aggression. Some withdrew to distant sectors. Others maintained a defensive perimeter far from human colonies. The humans had achieved dominance without firing a single shot. They had proven that the ban on war could not limit their capability, their creativity, or their courage. In the command center, the team allowed themselves a quiet celebration. They had done what few thought possible. They had controlled a larger, more advanced enemy through strategy alone. Civilians remained safe, unaware of the delicate balance maintained above them. Mara spoke first. "It's incredible. They underestimated us every step of the way, and every hesitation they had was because of our planning." Alex nodded. "Humans have always thrived when underestimated. That is our edge. Brute force alone is not enough in this galaxy. Intelligence, patience, and creativity define true strength." Dr. Ortiz smiled. "The galaxy may have banned humans from war, but the ban forced us to innovate. It made us better at thinking, adapting, and surviving. We didn't just protect ourselves. We showed what humans are capable of," Jax added. "And they will tell others. Stories will spread." Humans are not just unpredictable. They're clever, strategic, and impossible to ignore. Indeed, reports began reaching distant alien councils. Information about the human colony's maneuvers circulated rapidly. Some factions expressed admiration for human ingenuity. Others reconsidered the wisdom of keeping humans banned from war. The lesson was clear. Humans were not only capable, they were exceptional in ways that could not be quantified by fleet size or technology alone. Alex looked at the holographic map, now showing alien fleets regrouping at a safe distance. "This is not just a victory for this colony," he said. "It is a victory for humanity. We have demonstrated that humans can control outcomes, protect their people, and succeed where others rely only on brute strength or numbers." Mara added thoughtfully, "and without breaking the rules. That is the most impressive part. We didn't attack first. We didn't violate the ban, yet the result is undeniable." Alex smiled faintly. "Humans have always excelled when constrained. Limitations sharpen our minds, teach us patience, and force us to innovate. That is why we survive, why we thrive, and why the galaxy will never fully understand what humans are capable of until it is too late." Days passed, and the humans continued to monitor alien activity. Fleets stayed at a distance, hesitant to approach further. Cloaked ships patrolled quietly. Drones continued to gather intelligence, and automated systems maintained the illusion of greater human strength. The colony thrived, and humans quietly celebrated their success. On the observation deck, Alex spoke to his team. "We have done more than survive. We have proven that humans are clever, adaptable, and capable of controlling events without violence. That is the true essence of humanity. Brute force can be copied, numbers can be matched, but creativity, intelligence, and courage that cannot be replicated." Mara nodded. "And the galaxy has seen it. The aliens may not admit it openly, but their hesitation and retreat speak volumes. Humans are no longer underestimated," Dr. Ortiz added. "Our people will grow stronger from this. The young pilots, the engineers, even civilians, they will learn that limitations do not define them. They can achieve greatness despite any rule or restriction." Jax grinned. "It's not just survival anymore. It's respect. Even if they don't say it, the galaxy respects humans now." Alex looked out at the stars, a sense of calm and pride washing over him. The humans of this small colony had achieved what few believed possible. They had turned a ban into an advantage, restrictions into lessons, and strategy into a weapon more powerful than any fleet. Humans will always adapt, Alex said quietly. We may be underestimated, overlooked, or restricted, but we will never be powerless. Intelligence, courage, and unity define our strength, not numbers or rules. And that is why we will always thrive. As the colony slept beneath the endless stars, hidden ships and drones continued their watch. Humans had shown the galaxy that their greatest weapon was not aggression or firepower, but the ability to think, adapt, and act with precision and creativity. Even when banned from war, they could strike back in ways that no enemy could predict. From distant alien councils to far-off patrol fleets, whispers of respect and caution began to spread. Humans were no longer seen as a simple, predictable species. They were clever, resourceful, and impossible to underestimate. The ban on war, meant to limit them, had inadvertently shown the galaxy the true power of humanity. Alex returned to the command center, standing with his team. We have done what many thought impossible. We have protected our people, demonstrated our capability, and shown that humans cannot be underestimated. The galaxy will remember this day not for violence, but for brilliance, Mara smiled. And we've done it together. That is what makes humans strong. Unity, intelligence, and courage, Alex nodded. Exactly. Humans do not need to fight recklessly to prove their worth. We survive, adapt, and thrive because we are clever, because we are united, and because we refuse to be underestimated. That is the legacy of humanity, and it will carry us forward into the stars. The colony continued to flourish, and humanity's reputation began to change. No longer simply banned from war, humans were now seen as a species of remarkable capability, cleverness, and resilience. Their ability to control outcomes without aggression, to think creatively under pressure, and to adapt to any situation had earned them quiet but undeniable respect. And so, under the endless expanse of stars, humans prepared for the future. They remained hidden, vigilant, and ready, proving that even when banned from war they could strike back not with weapons, but with intelligence, courage, and unity. The galaxy had learned a lesson. Humans were not to be underestimated. For Captain Alex Reed and his people, the victory was not just survival, it was recognition. Humans had proven that their greatest strength lay not in fleets or weapons, but in their minds, their hearts, and their unbreakable spirit. And that spirit would continue to shine, guiding humanity through every challenge the galaxy might send.